But when enough people make false promises, words stop meaning anything. Then there are no more answers, only better and better lies. And lies won't help us in this fight.
Well, that's where you're wrong, young man.
Hello, fellow firearm enthusiasts and Fed boys, and welcome back to the channel. It wouldn't be a day ending in Y without some ridiculous nonsense from Biden's ATF, so of course today will be no different. As you can see, we have Liberty Baby in the frame with us again today to stop her from climbing the filing cabinets.
Flashback. End of flashback.
Liberty Baby also woke up 2 hours earlier than usual today, so shout out to Blackout Coffee for keeping me going with the mama juice. They're a great little company out of Florida doing their part to help support channels like mine, the Second Amendment, and veterans. And bonus, right now everything on the site is 20% off with code NY20. Check them out at blackoutcoffee.com/libertydoll. Well, the ATF is making up their own definitions to words again. Yeah, I know, it's bullshit. Deciding that gun parts, all by their lonesome selves, are firearms. I say gun parts because now they've decided that any kit component on its own, without a jig, is still a readily available and easily manufactured gun simply because jigs exist out in the universe.
Words have no more meaning, Terry.
The first iteration of their ghost gun charade that does nothing to actually stop people from making their own guns so long as 3D printers exist, stated that parts in 80% kits needed to be serialized. The rule change kicked up a shitstorm as FedEx and UPS changed their rules as well to essentially ban shipment of gun parts, thanks in part to letters sent out by the gun control gang in Congress. Now the Biden administration has announced an updated rule to close the so-called ghost gun loophole that the gun control complex just made up on the spot. According to the Washington Examiner, the ATF just sent out an open letter to all FFLs regarding yet another definition change. The letter outlined how disassembled, incomplete, or even non-functional guns and parts are now suddenly readily available firearms that The letter outlined how disassembled, incomplete, or even non-functional guns and parts are now suddenly readily available firearms that require serial numbers and background checks. Applying the regulatory text of Final Rule 2021-05F, partially complete Polymer 80, Lone Wolf, and similar striker-fired semi-automatic pistol frames, including, but not limited to, those sold within parts kits, have reached a stage of manufacture where they may readily be completed, assembled, restored, or otherwise converted to a functional frame. This definition of readily applies to each and every classification of a partially complete frame or receiver under this rule, whether sold alone or as part of a kit. Therefore, even without any associated templates, jigs, molds, equipment, tools, instructions, guides, or marketing materials, these partially complete pistol frames are frames and also firearms, as defined in the Gun Control Act and its implementing regulations. So a hunk of metal with no jigs, tools, or instructions is now somehow legally a gun. I'd say these folks need a mental competency exam, but it's not about stupidity or insanity, it's about control, and the government gets control by doing whatever the hell it wants. The official logic released by the ATF is that because ghost guns can be used in crimes, they need to be serialized so that the police can track them. Note that nowhere in that logic does it say that this will stop or prevent crime, only that it will allow law enforcement to theoretically trace the gun or parts after the fact. A U.S. district judge gave the August version of the rule a go-ahead earlier this year, but that was before a West Virginia federal ruling that said the federal ban on owning firearms with destroyed or removed serial numbers was unconstitutional under Bruin. So the plot thickens. The logic is, since serial numbers didn't exist when the Second Amendment was written, and in context they weren't required until recent history, you can't legally or constitutionally require them. So here we have an interesting circle of the ATF saying that all these parts and kits need serial numbers, and a federal... Oh yeah? Tell us how you really feel. And a federal judge saying you can't ban people from owning guns without serial numbers. It makes an interesting precedent for a legal case, though the West Virginia case also muddied the waters a bit in that the guy with the gun without the serial number was also a convicted felon who was charged with illegal possession. So we'll have to see what value that holds. That is it for this video, folks. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're new here. Drop a comment down below, and I promise that no babies were harmed in the making of this video. Don't forget to check out today's sponsor and all of the support options down in the description. And as always, thanks for tuning in, stay safe, and happy shooting.